Now that we have finished with the major crimes of murder and 2 manslaughters, we can start to look at the defences. The first one we're going to look at is automatism. The case of R versus Bratty highlighted 2 different types of automatism: insane and non-insane automatism. The first is insane automatism, and this is described as any mental disorder that has manifested itself in violence and is prone to reoccur. This means that any mental disorder that means you could be, you could have a violent outburst and it not be your fault because of the mental state you're in. The second one is non-insane automatism. This one is a full defence to all crimes, as what you're doing is you're effectively saying no to the actus reus. You didn't even do it, the acting bit. Because this is an act done by the muscles with no control of the mind, i.e., Hill versus Baxter shows us that, gave us an example of driving along and a swarm of bees surrounds you as you're driving, then you crash and kill some people. You can't help that because you can't stop what your muscles are doing to try and get the bees away from you. So those are the 2 different types. Now we must look at the first test. In the first test, there must be a total loss of control / the D must act involuntarily. R versus Bratty shows this total loss of control, whereas if you only lost some control, so not all control, so you're still partially aware, then Attorney General reference 2 of 1992 is the case. The next test uses 2 cases that we can also use when discussing insanity, and the test is the cause of the automatism must be external to you. So like I was saying with the bees, that's not, you don't know about it, because if you have a mental disorder, what you should really use is insanity and not this defence, as it must be external. R versus Quick shows this external cause, and R versus Hennessy shows an internal cause, or insanity. The final thing to note, and this is not a test, but only include it if it's relevant to the scenario, but there is something called self-induced automatism, which is basically, if you take drugs or illegal drugs and legal drugs, so prescription drugs versus, like heroin or something like that. And there is a distinction on whether you can use the defence if you take illegal drugs, because you can't. But if you take legal drugs and they don't go as intended, such as R versus Bailey, then you can still have the defence.